I played the first Sims game back in the year 2004 when I was just 9 years old. I was an innocent little lad back then, and although I can remember drowning in my own pool, I can't remember ever engaging in lovemaking. But I'm an adult now, so we're gonna try to play The Sims like it's rated R, with the only objective being to get laid. We are going to play all of The Sims, by the way, 1 through 4. But of course, we are beginning with the original game, which is notorious for being the most difficult Sims game to make love in. The first thing we need to do is make our Sim. And we're old enough now to understand that women are attracted mostly to money. So I'm gonna make my guy named Gregory. He is neat, he is nice, he's a little bit nerdy, and he has pretty aggressive male pattern baldness. Who happens to be an executive with a large wallet. All right, let's get our house built, and anyone who is an architectural designer or just loves building in video games, I'm sorry, I'm not good at this, so don't judge me. You know, although we're playing Sims like we're adults, this is probably the most childish thing you can do in The Sims. A girl! Ooh, okay, she came knocking on my door. I guess the news got around in the neighborhood that a stud has moved in next door. All right, boys, this could be the start of a wild night. All right, we're gonna make our first big move here by going in for the compliment while her husband stands there. Okay, there's an option for flirting. We're moving fast. Should we growl or check her out? I think Gregory is a classy man, so we're gonna go with check her out. Man, The Sims is awesome. I can distinctly remember spending hours at my cousin's house playing this. There is, and always will be, a certain allure to living in a simulated life where you could do almost anything you want with zero consequences. I talked to Bella for a bit. We have a 6 on the friendship meter. I think that's a good start. It says that Bella enjoys a variety of activities from golf to miniature golf. You know what? I appreciate Bella for this. It may not seem like a big amount of variety, but miniature golf and regular golf are two very different things. This is real golf, and this is miniature golf. All right, we've got Bella here, and I doubt we'll be able to convince her to hop into bed with me until we're lovers. Okay, even though we don't have much in common, though, I think I'm gonna go in for the hug. This is gonna be Gregory's first contact with a girl in probably 3 years. Come on, don't mess this up, big dog. Okay, oh, yeah, okay, the body language is crazy, but we got the hug, and we got some work to do. Let's check the newspaper. The newspaper has an opening as a subway musician for $90 a day. I just realized how this video will be a cool retrospective on how technology and society has evolved throughout the years. Oh, okay, I forgot how quickly your Sims needs deplete. Like, if you take too long making food, your bladder might explode. Well, I decided to make some food before I head to the bathroom, and that ended up being the biggest mistake I could have made. Oh no. Oh, this is not good. I don't think I have any water. And I gotta piss. Oh my god, I just pissed on it. That's perfect. I need the water. Go on the extinguish with it. Woo! Are we good? It's too hot. Am I gonna make it through this? No! A skunk has decided to make your lot its new home. Better call animal control. I'm dying though. Go in the shower. Go in the shower. No, the Grim Reaper. Not like this. So I burnt my food, started a fire, pissed on the floor, caught on fire, and before I died, a skunk moved into my home. This is what life looks like when you fail to get laid, boys. Don't be like Gregory. Last name Cox, first name Dick. I think we're gonna change from the nerdy guy to the bad boy. No woman can resist a bad boy. I decided this time to move into a furnished home, took a quick move-in photo, and Operation Get Laid was initiated. I guess Bella is the Sim who visits you first, at least in this neighborhood. She clearly doesn't have a great marriage with Mortimer and is desperately trying to find a new man. I chatted her up, and Dick Cox did a much better job than Gregory. We've already got 50 points in just a few minutes. Bella had to go for the night, and Dick Cox was a little bit low on his fun meter since he didn't get any action. I shopped around, but there was only one item in the game that could cheer up Mr. Cox. And I'm remembering why the Sims games were so addicting when we were kids. The game definitely holds up over time, and if I wasn't trying to Netflix and chill with Bella, I'd probably be trying to get to the highest promotion level of my job and make tons of money. But instead, I'm focusing on keeping Dick happy. I don't remember this game being so difficult. Like, this guy can't go 1 minute without his needs depleting. The first Sims game does a really good job with keeping things realistic. Like, I'm actually stressing in real life, trying to make sure that Dick can make it through the day. But we are progressing, and then suddenly a pink heart appeared under her name, and I think we're in love. or something, and we can probably get to the bed pretty soon. To keep things snowballing, I asked Bella to accompany me to the Solana Town Center. Women love shopping, and maybe after the date, she'll be satisfied enough to satisfy me, if you know what I mean. Okay. I've got to admit though, I'm kind of blown away at the detail of this game. It's been a long time, so I'm having a hard time remembering anything from The Sims when I was a kid, but I had no idea it was this intricate. There are so many things to interact with. The immersion is top tier. No wonder The Sims finds itself on the list of best-selling video games of all time. I spent a bit of time exploring and trying to win over Bella with some chocolates, but unfortunately, the date ended with no action. The following day, I made the first attempt at sleeping with Bella. We've been chatting for a while now, we've gone on a few dates, and you could tell we're kind of hitting it off. After some chilling, I made my way over to the bed and clicked the option, play in bed. What? Too depressed? Okay, we found a girl with a lot of baggage. Well, there's no better way to help a woman get through some deep emotional trauma than a hand puppet. What is this bear doing? I forgot how random The Sims can be. I feel like video games of the past did not care about things making sense and added whatever they wanted to, because why not? Unfortunately, Claire the bear distracted me and Bella left angry and the relationship status was in a terrible spot. How do you help someone through depression? Well, one way to get a woman to like you is to completely ignore her and find a different woman and see if jealousy can spark some interest. Nothing cures depression like jealousy. You didn't think you would get such good relationship advice in this video, did you? I immediately found our target, Tiffany. Anyone who dresses like this at the beach is asking to be complimented. I had to wait a little bit until she came back downstairs, but then I started the Riz train. The conversation was going great. We're already 36 points. I figured now was time to make some moves, so I queued up like 7 kisses, and she denied all of them. She now hates me. Whatever. Tiffany is kind of a bit. How do you deal with rejection and breakups? While I was working out, I realized something. Bella is the only girl who has shown any interest at all. Boys, if any girl shows interest, you gotta hop on that because this does not happen often. So I called Bella up again and tried to rekindle what we started earlier. She brought me flowers, and after a bit of talking, I did some flirting, and suddenly, we got the pink hearts to show up under the two of us. Since she was too depressed last time, I made sure to cheer her up before, and with our relationship bar at 100, there is no way she would deny the dick. It's too late. See you another time? No! The first Sims game is actively trying to work against you, and to top off this bad string of luck, a burglar decided to pay me a visit. Get up, man. My casino. Bro, get up. Are you serious? You took so long to get up. So out of desperation, I took Bella out on a date to Palazzo Palms Hotel, an island getaway. I spent half my savings on this luxurious vacation. This can't go wrong. Bella was in a much more playful mood here. This place just screams romance. And this was the very first time I could get her into bed with me. Finally, we were going to get laid. But we just laid there. There was no options to interact with Bella. Out of all the places in the game, I figured a romantic island retreat would make Dick irresistible. But I guess there was some progress made anyways, because the pink heart changed into a red heart, indicating that we are getting serious. I don't know exactly how this game functions, but I'm gonna guess that the chances of getting someone to sleep with you are much higher if you're married to them. This red heart also grants the option to propose. Maybe part of the reason why it's not working is because we're not married, so without hesitation, I got down on one knee and asked the question. How come we never talk anymore? Are you serious? We talk every single day. I just took you to the island retreat. Okay, well, let's talk now. And then after that, I got down on one knee again. I could never make a decision on an empty stomach. Okay, now she's too hungry. Wow, the Sim developers did their research on how women function. I fed her some of the best food I've ever made and tried again. How come we never do fun things? Okay, this girl is way too high maintenance. I'm second guessing my choice here, but I bought a foosball table, and after I let her win, I asked the question one more time. Denied again. Women are actually impossible. I'm about to go find a guy and get this over with. I tried over and over and over again to get Bella to marry me, but she just wasn't having it. This is the reason why the first Sims is known as being the hardest for relationship stuff. Out of ideas, I figured going downtown one more time couldn't hurt. When we got there, I noticed a new chat option. invite home. I've invited Bella to my house probably 76 times at this point, but maybe doing it while downtown can be different. She seemed to like the idea, and I quickly called the cab. When we got home, I jumped into bed one last desperate time. Bella walked over as she normally does, pissed off and hungry, ready to hear rejection once more. Woo! Yeah! We can officially mark off the first Sims game from the list, but before we go on to the second game, I figured I'd ask Bella to marry me just to see what she says now. Oh, I knew it! No woman can resist Dick Cox once they see why he's named Dick. Sims 2 came out in 2004, the same year that the Super Bowl halftime show incident happened. Just like the first Sims, you get to pick your area that you live in, and we're gonna go with Strange Town. Something feels right about this place. One major difference between the first Sims game and the second one, well, you might have noticed, we're in 3D now. We successfully got laid as the bad guy, and now we're gonna go with a different approach. Mr. Bundle Binders here is the opposite of a bad guy. He's nerdy, he's smart, and he normally does things by the books. Getting laid just became a science. One cool addition to The Sims 2 is this turn on and turn offs thing. There are some wild turn ons in here, so I went with the mild kink of fat witches, with the turn off being fitness. Of course. We're talking Molly Weasley for the type we're looking for. Another big change in The Sims 2 versus Sims 1 is play in bed has been reworded to woohoo. Woohoo is the term used for lovemaking from this Sims game onward. And now that we're in here, there's not much to do except wait for a potential date to show up. And I guess I'll pass some time with this jump rope. Suddenly, Linda showed up. Not exactly fat, but there's still a chance she's a witch. I invited her into my home, and while we were sitting on the ground talking about money, a message appeared in the upper right of my screen. There's a service available for matchmaking. I gave her a ring, and oh my goodness, the matchmaker herself is gorgeous. We're definitely rocking some extra pounds around the waist, and if I'm not mistaken, she has some witch-like qualities about her. I'm not sure if you can bump uglies with one of the Sims who provide services, but while she was here, I'd figured I'd shoot my shot. Okay, it doesn't look like it. The sudden disappearance from my lawn doesn't necessarily show promise. But for a guy who's into witches, the ability to evaporate into thin air is a turn on, and it only makes the fact that I can't have her worse. Like I said, The Sims came out in 2004, and it's pretty obvious the time difference between that and the first one. You're given a personal computer in the mail with many modern items in the shop. So I had a great night of gaming on my new computer, and in the morning, a message popped up again in the upper right of my screen. It's Tasha, and she seems to be missing me. Is there a chance with her? Well, I called her up and I put in an order for a blind date. If true love exists, she'd take my money and no one would show up. She would be the blind date, but that would be too good to be true. So I put in all the money I had, $460, and suddenly a woman dropped from the sky. Viola was her name, and our blind date had already begun with a timer. Can you imagine having this meter in real life during a date? Social anxiety would reach peak levels. Despite my best pickup lines, the date went okay. She's kind of the opposite of my type, you know, fit, gorgeous, and a little too muggle-like. The body language of this goodbye hug pretty much summed up how it went. Clearly, we need to spend more money if we're gonna do the blind date approach. Except, she didn't go home. She stayed at my place, jump roping until the morning. This girl is a weirdo, and if you remember what I said in the first Sims, you don't find many women who stick around, so I figured she had mild interest in me, and eventually I did get a pink heart next to her name. A few minutes later, and she's literally in my bedroom. At this moment, I don't care that she's not capable of casting spells or making potions. No, wait, where are you going? Oh no, I fumbled the bag. The second Sims make it much harder to win girls over. The relationship thing, you gotta press the right buttons. And now we're alone again. Well, at least we have video games. Later on, Tasha crossed my mind again. I'm not convinced yet that she and I won't make a great couple. She may be just trying to be nice and take some money from me, but we still got some talking, and before I knew it, a pink heart appeared next to her name. Maybe I'm breaking some intended mechanics here and setting my sim up for heartbreak, but the heart wants what the heart wants. After some suggestive flirting, I walked into my bedroom, hopped into bed, and I was hoping to see an option to woohoo, but the only one was to freestyle rap. It doesn't seem like you can have intercourse with Tasha. Just like the first Sims, I may have gotten a little distracted with other things. I worked a little bit on my career. There's a thing called lifetime aspiration benefits, which is essentially a talent tree allowing you to pick a certain path. I decided to go down the work path, which grants me passive effects like having a higher chance of getting promoted. Maybe I can save up enough money to go on a proper blind date from Tasha and find a girl who is down to get down. Struggling to find any other fatties riding on broomsticks, I looked up my contact list and saw that Tasha was there, and she still has a pink heart next to her name. It's been a bit of in-game time, but I think maybe I should try again with Tasha. You could instantly tell the chemistry was... This is crazy chemistry. And in seconds, our pink heart changed to red. And a few minutes later, while we were eating outside of the gazebo, I saw it. There's an option to propose. I waited for the right timing. We celebrated with a pillow fight before we headed back home, and once there, Tasha was hungry. She had to eat something first, and man, this girl's a keeper. A few moments later, and we were in the bedroom. Is this really happening? She's fat, she's witchy, this could be something special here. And there it was, the option to woohoo. Tasha, the matchmaker herself, has fallen in love with me. I'm gonna keep telling myself that this wasn't supposed to be possible and I'm just a master at The Sims. Hopefully our babies will be wizards and I get to be a proud muggle dad. The Sims 3 came out in 2009, and Johnny Depp was voted by People's Magazine as the sexiest man alive. So we can't go wrong going in as Mr. Depp. And I don't know if it's me, but the third Sims game looks objectively worse than the second Sims game. Maybe I'm missing some sort of graphical setting, but this is way worse. The first move I made was to find a neighbor. I wasn't gonna wait for someone to show up this time. I'm Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp does what he wants. I was hoping I'd find a single woman living in this house, but unfortunately for us, Victoria is married to this loser. But this didn't stop me from trying anyways. The conversation was going well, and being Johnny Depp and a bit of a flirty daredevil, I tried to give Victoria a kiss.
Sawa.
Carbani, Sean.
Carbani nog.
All right, I think going for a married chick is gonna slow me down, so I left the house and headed to the city square. There, I found a sweet girl named Tamara playing chess. I feel like this girl could be the one, but out of nowhere, a hottie pulls up. Erin. She's mad at me for something and then walks away, and being Johnny Depp, I can't pass up on the hotter girl, even if it means leaving the nice one behind. One cool thing in the third Sims is that you can discover and note down attributes about the other Sims. Erin is not flirty. She's kind of the opposite of Johnny Depp. So I stopped talking to Erin. She's not even my type anyway. Johnny Depp's into crazy blondes. So I took a car ride over to the theater, and outside stood a girl named Holly. This chat was going great until I learned about her occupation.
Nope.
By now in the third game, I know that you just kind of have to spam different chat options. Like, yeah, you can mess things up, but it's pretty easy not to. Molly has potential to be a romantic partner by the looks of it, but I had to call it a day and I went home to do my normal Sims things. I ate, I slept, I caught on fire, I extinguished myself in the shower, you know, the usual. I'd invited Molly back over and cooked her some dinner. These dates can speed up the relationship process, and if the meal tastes good, who knows, maybe we'll take it to the bedroom for dessert. And you know what they say, you can tell how good a girl will be in bed by the way she eats her dinner, and by the looks of it, we've got a good one, boys. I spent some time trying to chat her up and build up that meter, but I had to get some rest. The next morning, I called Molly back, and she headed over right away. Pretty nice being Johnny Depp. The sexual chemistry is palpable at this point, and we already have the red heart. Wasting no time, I went straight towards the bed. If Molly doesn't like this, we'll probably have to restart, but the fact that she's checking her makeup in the bathroom right now, that's a great sign. Ooh, okay, and there's an option for woohoo. Johnny Depp was definitely the cheat code here. Just be the sexiest man alive and you'll have no problems. You know, unless you're married to someone named Amber. Okay, you can tell we're in the era of modern gaming because there's a QR code and a pop-up screen at the main menu. Oh, okay, this is cool though. It's asking me different questions and I guess it's gonna build a sim for me based on my answers. Oh yeah, this is it. We're definitely getting laid looking like this. Playing The Sims 4 from the other Sims is kind of a shock. Like, this game is super nice. Like, the graphics took a huge step up. I finished my house, well, kind of. I ran out of money and I don't even have a bed, which actually was not going to be a problem. Outside of my house was a little man-made river thing, and this place was full of chicks. If this is gonna go smoothly, I should find somebody that does the same thing as me, and I'm a caterer, so we gotta find a girl who's in the food business. While I was in my house cooking up some meals, I noticed the hottest sim roaming around outside my house. Just look at that gate. I sparked up a conversation, and I quickly learned that Summer works in culinary, and she's single, and somehow seems to be interested in me. This looks like a perfect match. We went our separate ways, but not before we became acquaintances. This was important because I miraculously clicked on the house just south of mine. I say miraculously because this was about to be my ticket to sleeping with Summer. It said I could visit this home and select a sim to go there with. Summer appeared on that list, and what we learned from the other Sims games, Sims love to be taken out on dates. We got into the house, and there was a ton of options to do things together with your date. We're both into food, so this cook together option seemed like the best way to move things forward. By the way, the house we're in was owned by the white Travis Scott, and he did not like the fact that I was using his house for my own personal date. You know, I don't really care, and Summer and I had a lovely lunch talking at the table. I figured now was my chance to let her know I was attracted to her, which she took well to. And in the evening, we went into the pool. The conversation continued to flow, and things were starting to look up for our boy here. We went inside, still in our bathing suits, and disrespectfully ignored our host to continue our own private conversation. The evening was going great, and one cool addition I noticed in the 4th Sims is your sim will behave in accordance to their current emotional state. My sim was energized and confident, and you can see me strut with that confidence towards Summer. When I reached her, I would bravely ask if we could kiss for the first time. Okay, this is it. I think we're in. The current mood meter thing at the top says steamy exchange. Out of nowhere, an option came up for try for baby. We're so past the traditional times of the early 2000s from the first Sims game, and we can go straight for baby making before marriage. Since this is just a video game and I don't care if the baby has a father, I told Summer I'm down, and we began the walk. Shout out to my boy Travis Scott for letting us use his house. We found a bedroom, switched into our pajamas, I guess, and boom, we have successfully gotten laid in all 4 Sims games. So there you go. What was the point of this video? That's hard to tell. It could be all the tips and tricks on how to get laid that I gave you, or maybe it's to be an A-list superstar if you want easier time with girls. But I think this video was about Gregory. He died so that the rest of the men in this video would have a chance at love. He may have died a virgin, but he will forever be on our hearts. For Gregory.